Peace. What's happening? Welcome to Nocturnal Thoughts. I am Nocturnal. And today, real quick, I'm going to share a quick story. It's not a new story, but it's one of my favorite stories. And, somebody might not have heard this story before. The moral of the story is always trust someone's nature. The scorpion and the frog. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real quick and I'm gonna chop it up because I'm not gonna drag this story out. Just straight to the point. But there was a scorpion, and ended up getting stranded in a storm, and it was trapped. It had no way of helping itself. I think it got the story goes where the scorpion might have got trapped on a lily pod. Storm came down, and it was evident that the fate of the scorpion was sealed. It was going to drown. The rain was too heavy. The petal wasn't going to survive. Wasn't going to, maintain his life. Eventually, he was going to go under the water. He was going to drown. And he was going to die. In his last minutes of his life, a toad came swimming by. You can say a frog or a toad. Tomato, right? And the frog stopped, and the scorpion stopped the frog, and the scorpion said, "Can you give me a ride to safety?" And the frog was like, "No." The scorpion said, "Why not?" The frog said, "Because you're a scorpion and you're going to sting me." Scorpion promised. He swore on his life, "If you don't save me from this storm, I'm going to drown to death. Can I please ride on your back to safety? I promise you I won't sting you." Frog thought about it. He said, "Okay, you got a deal. You can climb on my back. I'm gonna hop both of us to safety. Get us out of the storm." So the scorpion climbs on the back. The frog starts to make his way through the river. And he's jumping and he's jumping. And the next thing he knows, he feels a sting on his back. And he's confused. He turns around like, "Scorpion, why did you do this? Now I'm going to die and you're going to die." And the scorpion said, "It's in my nature." Now, I didn't do that story no justice, but the moral of the story is don't trust anyone, but always trust people's nature. A lot of people always tell you growing up, don't judge a book by the cover. Let me be the first one to tell you, you always trust your instincts, and you always judge a book by a cover. We don't have time to read everybody. People that's coming in your life in passing while you're going to and fro. If it's a person that looks like a creep, he's a creep. If it's a person that looks like a pedophile, he is a pedophile. If it's a person that looks like he's a violent or a murderer, he's a murderer. Okay? Now, if you are in an environment where you spend long term or long time with people, then you might have time to open the book and read the pages. That's how you develop repertoire and rapport, should I say. You develop rapport and you develop relationships with people, and once they have to a certain extent proven themselves, put it like this, everybody is guilty until proven innocence. And once you meet somebody and you spent time with someone, you always make sure you check. You know what I'm saying? You never take it. You put it like this. You read someone's pages and you get to know them. So if you judge them incorrectly, that's fine. But keep in mind you had time to you know develop an understanding of this person's nature, and then you trust his nature. I remember one of my favorite movies back in the day was A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Martin Lawrence and Regina King. And Martin Lawrence, you know, he was a womanizer, and he was best friends with Regina King. And he asked her one time, "Do you trust me?" And she thought about it for a second, and then she said, "I trust you because I know you. I trust you to be you." Meaning she knew his ways, and she knew that she could rely on the fact that he's going to do what's in his nature for him to do. So it's not like you can develop some kind of a false trust with someone. You don't want to develop your own idea of who someone is. You want to understand that person for what they are and see that they are acting within their nature, and then understand and respect that that person is going to do what's in his or her nature. So, and the thing is, when you meet people, it doesn't matter how you judge them. What you do is you treat people the way you want to be treated, and you show everybody respect. You respect everybody so that they respect you. If you see someone is disrespectful and it's in their nature to be disrespectful, then you put that in your memory bank and you say that's just a disrespectful person by nature. You see what I'm saying? That's how you conduct yourself. You don't walk around in Wonderland thinking that everybody is amazing and great and perfect and everybody loves everybody, and you don't walk around thinking everybody is a criminal and everybody is insane. You know, you mind your business. You treat everybody with a certain level of respect, and you make sure you check yourself first. You check yourself on a regular basis as you mature. Do an inventory. See what's coming in mentally. See what's going out. And you need to be worried about yourself more than anybody else. Everybody else you meet in life in passing, you trust your instincts. You know what I'm saying? You have God-given instincts. If you meet someone and immediately they raise a red flag, it's like, you know, when I was growing up, people always used to say, "Man, you're like a hermit crab." Now, hermit crab stays in its shell. It's quiet, and it puts the feelers out first. And, you know, it feels out its environment. Then it might come out of the shell. So you might want to, you know, take that into consideration, that when you're out in the world, you know, you keep your protection up, you keep your guards up, you keep your wall up, but you also need to have your antennas out there. You also need to have your senses to where you can feel other people's energy, their characteristics, what's in their nature. See what I'm saying? And like I said, you don't have time to develop a 360 conclusion to every person that you meet. You know, if you meet somebody in passing and they give you the heebie-jeebies, especially when you got your kids around you and your family around you, and you're in the presence of somebody that just don't feel right, you trust your instincts and you put your guards up, and you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that you do to let people know, you know what I'm saying, you don't play no games. You have to be on that. You have to let people know that I'm protecting this. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch a nature channel real quick, whenever you got a pride of lions, whenever there's a young lion that might come and present a danger or a takeover, the old lion is already up and in a position, in a challenge mode, ready to go to battle, ready to protect his territory, because he senses that there is a threat. So when you're out in the world and you feel that, nature-wise and instinctual. If you feel that you have a presence of danger, you should be on alert. You should be aware of your surroundings. You should be scoping out weapons you can use. Always be prepared. Always have an escape route in your mind. You take your family out to the movies, look at the exit routes, just scope them out. I ain't telling you to walk around paranoid 24/7, but when you take your family out, you know what I'm saying? When you take your family out and you go somewhere, it's a lot of people, scope out as many people as you can, see what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? See the exit routes and be prepared and be cognitive at all times. If you by yourself and you pull up to a gas station, you get out when you pumping gas, do a quick survey of the land, look at who's there, look at who's walking around, look at who's pulling up, who's pulling out, look at, you know what I'm saying? You might just want to see if there's a cop pulling over to the side trying to scope you out for a ticket, you know what I mean? So when you pull up to the gas station, don't just get out and start pumping gas and whistling Dixie and cleaning your windows and not looking around what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Always be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? Don't have your eyes wide shut. This is Nocturnal Thoughts with a real quick one. I appreciate y'all for watching all my night owls. To be continued. Stay tuned. Thank God for righteousness, for health, for family. This is Nocturnal. Together we stand, divided, going down.